After all these years, he finally gets skinny after he gets traded. That reminds me, like 2-3 years ago, he got skinny for Slovenia, and then he came back into the season, bloated up again. Like, that made me so mad. And I think that was the year. It was the year before Kyrie came, so I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs that year. But man, that was just so depressing. Speaking of that Slovenia run, why don't we do a film study on it? I'm so proud of Luka, bro. After all these years. This is his MVP season. He has a good team. He has the storyline. He has LeBron. So, I don't get how he's not going to win MVP. It'd be rigged if he doesn't. But anyways, hope you like and subscribe and enjoy the film study. After Luka uses the screen to get his defender behind him, the help defender sags off way too much on Luka Doncic. So he realizes that and takes a step back to create even more space and lets that three fly. Green light! Move Luka does here has to serve a purpose, to shift the defender's hips and to keep him on his toes. Notice how Luka makes his defender shift his hips to the left, then to the right, then explodes out of it to keep him guessing. Now that he's afraid of Luka driving, with each dribble he takes, he moves back just a little bit, but just enough for Luka to get a step back three. Boo! I don't know why they keep putting this guy on him, but Luka drives. The guy trying to overcompensate goes way too far, does too much, and Luka takes advantage of that by snatching back and getting an open three. I feel so bad for this guy, man. This guy gets cooked every single play. But Luka does a series of dribble to keep him on his toes and does a step back three. Luka getting a screen from his teammate, allowing his first defender to get behind him. Alright, here's the situation. You see the defender on the left side? Yeah, he has a choice between stopping Luka or stopping the outside three. Because if Luka drives and he doesn't step up, he's just an easy layup. Because you see him, Luka, cooking the other guy all game. Now, but if he helps too much, Luka can just kick it out to the other guy for a wide two open three. So, in this play, he makes a mistake by just barely doing anything. Let me show you. Luka drives here, and then boom, this right here. He just reaches his hand out, and because Luka did a low pickup, that just forces him to do a foul, and Luka can just get the L1. Luka, using his speed and a hand swipe, gets past his first defender. Now, his big man boxes his defender out, which isn't illegal. And when Luka goes up, he blocks the defender of the big man so he can get an easy layup. Once again, Luka gets his defender behind him. Now, once he has that, he can do a lot of things. Since his help defender is shorter, he can just bump into him and throw up a floater. Luka uses a bump to get his primary defender out the way. To shield the ball from the secondary defender, he brings the ball out of reach into a pull-up.
Stop and pop.
Using a string, Luka can just go through the paint using a series of bumps and then rising up for a floater to get an easy bucket. Luka's in the post, and because the defender's weaker than him, he can just baby him to the basket, and to shield the ball away from Rudy Gobert, he just tucks it so he can't get it, and then gets an easy floater. Luka, going through traffic, does another tuck to shield the ball away from defenders for another floater. Luka with the cross-court dime over the defender for that layup. Luka getting a screen so he can get a mismatch onto the same guy, so he can cook him up easy by using the dribbles to keep him on his toes. This shows you how easy it is to get buckets when you're with a mismatch. Now at the end of the first game, I hope you like that because we got 2 more incoming, man. I hope you enjoyed those. This is a quick reminder to like and subscribe, because if you made it this far, you're clearly liking the video. Every move Luka does right here is to do one thing: keep his defender on his toes. Now with each move, his defender keeps going back. So now when he's close enough to the rim, he can just post him up without any help defense. Now he can bump him a few times and do a spin. Luka getting a high screen here from his teammates to now get a switch onto the smaller Dennis Schroeder. Now he can push cross over to the other side, spin move, and floats it over him. When Luka loses the ball here, the defender thinks he can take it, but Luka quickly gets it back in his control. To tween, gets by him, and to protect the ball from the other defender, he bumps into him first so he can't block it and gets that tough Finish.
Shit.
Watch how Luka grabs all the attention from the defenders to leave his teammate open. He gets his high screen from his teammate. Bringing the ball to the other side allows to help the defender come in. Now he pump fakes, gets him jumping, so the other guy has to come in and help him, but now he can just pass it out to the wing. Luka starting with slow dribbles to lure his defender. Then, with the quick delayed tween, he gets by as the first defender. For when the help defense comes up, he pump fakes, creates the contact with the first defender, and goes up for the finish. When Luka comes off the screen, the help defender only shuffles back, allowing Luka to hit a step back 3.
Green light.
Once again, Luka uses gravity to create for his teammates. When he rejects the screen here, he gets 4 defenders to look at him, only to kick it out to his teammate, who gets the defender to overcompensate, drives, and hits a floater.
A little runner.
When Luka gets the ball in the post, he's surrounded by 3 guys, so he can't drive. So all he needs to do is just bump the guy one time and does a spin fade.
Turn around and
Luka playing through that tough contact from Dennis' shoulder, but is able to control the ball. So when he drives down the court and the defender cuts him off, he does a hard spin, and because he's shorter, he can just float it up. Once again on this play, all 5 defenders are looking at Luka, so it makes it easier for him to fake the shot and to quickly pass it over to his teammate on the wing.
Dragon.
Once again, Luka uses dribbles to shift his opponent's hips and get a tough layup. Watch this. After this tween, he brings his defender to the right. Tween again to the left. Now he has him on his hip. Split the 2 defenders with a euro and gets a tough finish.
Gets in.
With every dribble here, Luka makes his defender's feet move back. Just enough for when he drives to the basket, he can quickly does a spin move when the defender cuts him off and for another floater.
Again.
On the screen here, the 2 defenders decide to switch, and because of that switch, Luka can do a quick maneuver and get behind Dennis' shoulder and get a wide open 3.
For 3. Good.
Luka, identifying this mismatch on the smaller defender, can easily post him up, but since he's at the free throw line, he can give him 2 bumps, spin move. Because he's strong, he can easily get by him, and when the help defender comes, he can just rise up.
Him up and get.
Once again with another mismatch, Luka can do a 2-bump spin move into another floater. On his shoulder, using his speed to go up under. And that is it for the second game. Moving on to the third one. I believe this is more recent. If I'm wrong, you can correct me down in the comments. While you're down there, recommend any other players you want me to film study. Right here, Luka does a tween into a hezzy step back to create enough space for him to get a 3. Once again, Luka does the same move to create another opportunity for himself. Luka using his slow dribbles to lull his defender before doing a quick step back. On this play, Luka gets a high screen from his teammate, but because he rejects it, now his defender is trailing behind him, and when the help defense comes, he bumps into him first to create
Float
separation.
game.
Easy floater. When Luka gets a screen here, he draws both of the defenders to get his teammate open enough for him to give an absolute dime for that tough lay. Luka makes a good read and grabs the ball out of the air when his teammate panic throws it out, and now you get a wide open layup. This is a play call action when Luka gets a double screen from his teammate, where then he can cut and Luka can give him an absolute dime. Just because the defender doesn't do what you're anticipating him to do, doesn't mean you should give up the play. On this one, Luka gets a high screen from his teammate. He rejects it, but the defender is still on his hip. He doesn't matter, he plays his contact and does a spin move when he cuts him off. As you can see here, Luka misses his 3-pointer. But he doesn't give up on the play. He goes for the rebound, which his teammate tips towards him, and then plays to the contact from the defender.
Float game.
Does a hang finish. Luka gets a screen onto the weaker defender, plays through the contact, then does a speed stop, pivot, pump fake into a step through. And that's game. Thank you for watching this video for its entirety. I feel like I say this a lot, but this one is my favorite. Definitely because Luka's my favorite player and I'm a little biased, but I definitely put a lot of work into this. If you have any more players you want me to film study, leave it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.